What's going on, everybody? How's you doing today? Hope you guys are having a lovely day. Let's head into the live scene. What's going on? Welcome back, or welcome to the channel. So today, first and foremost, we need to do some tool repairs because I have officially run out of all the tools. Well, I should say all the durability of the tools that are in my handy dandy toolbox here are currently broken. So I did spend a little bit of time before stream doing this, but I realized a little bit too late. So here we are, kind of doing that first before we go ahead and get started with today's episode, stream, either or, whichever you want to call it. So hope everybody had a lovely weekend. I certainly did. It was a very productive one, I should say. I got some stuff done around the house, even got some recording done, which if you guys happen to notice, we did put out a short on Saturday, which is usually out of my norm. I'm really trying hard to, you know, not allow YouTube to kind of take up my weekend, just because I want to, you know, be able to do stuff around the house, go hang out with friends, be social, I guess, because I'm very bad at being social a lot of the time. Plus, I like to be outdoors, especially with now that we're coming up on the end of July now. The weather is, before you know it, it's going to be turning pretty crummy here. So I would much rather spend the time outside, just kind of enjoying the weather. So that's what I like to do on my weekends. And this weekend, though, I will be dog sitting, so will not be home or anything like that. I'm excited for this week, as I technically start dog sitting tomorrow and through Sunday. So Thursday we will have no face cam. But these dogs are really sweet. You know, it's easier to dog sit for family, just because these dogs are used to being around me, whether it's out at camp or going to their house already for family gatherings or whatever. It's a lot easier to dog sit that way. But the house that I'm staying at is also really nice, so I'm going to make full use of all the amenities that are there, such as weight room, outdoor patio, you know, read a book, because, you know, I do need to do that sometimes. I've been actually kind of getting an itch to start reading again, and I'm curious as to some book recommendations. If you have any specifically like fantasy styled or fantasy themed, not styled, fantasy themed books, please put in the chat or in the comments of the VOD. What should I start reading? I was actually thinking of potentially picking up Game of Thrones, because I still have yet to read those books. As shocking as it may be as well, I still have yet to finish reading Lord of the Rings. I got through the first book, thought it was absolutely fantastic, obviously. But I got through part of Two Towers, and just kind of really haven't had a desire or an urge to read since. So, yeah, especially for somebody who's trying to, you know, create their own fantasy universe, kind of getting some ideas and inspirations from other books would probably be pretty good. So, and speaking of Lord of the Rings, if anybody has not seen the short that I put out this past week, I would highly recommend you go and check it out, because this Friday I will be dropping the video for that mod. And let me tell you guys, I'm in the process of editing it still. I'm hoping I can get some time tomorrow to finish it and then get it uploaded by Thursday for members first. Member first perks, obviously. Consider becoming one today if you want to get early access to that video when it drops on Thursday. So yeah, super excited to get that series out for you guys. It's not necessarily one that I had predicted I would be doing, just because, you know, I already have a lot on my plate. I'm kind of thinking about what I'm going to do to kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say replace what I want to replace on what I'm currently doing on the channel. I don't think that's what I'm trying to say, but kind of move something onto the back burner. And if I'm being completely honest, I think we're going to take a pause on the aged mod series, the aged mod pack, just because I've been doing a lot on that one for months. I mean, at least half a year, we have been putting out relatively consistent content on that mod pack. So, I think taking a small hiatus from that to explore different mod packs such as Middle-earth will be good for me. Maybe it will reignite some urge in the future once we complete Middle-earth to go back to the Age mod pack. We'll see. I honestly don't really know. I don't think that far ahead, okay? Don't bully me. So, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, you guys are excited for Friday as I am. Because I am super excited to get this video out to you guys. There's a lot of really cool things that I don't want to spoil too much right now that I'm liking so far with Middle-earth. And I'm also probably more than likely going to be doing something similar to what I did with the Age mod pack and doing like a guide video on how to play it in its alpha stage. Granted, it is an alpha, so there's still a lot that's going to be added along the way. But obviously, as Lord of the Rings nerd, I needed to play this mod. And I will say, it's just a mod. It's not like a mod pack or anything. But like I said, so excited. So excited to get the video out to you guys. I hope you guys will appreciate it just as much as I do. But enough rambling. Kind of need to repair my tools so we can actually get into the fun part of today's video. I'm sure you guys want to get to it sooner rather than later. But I do have tools to repair, so we need to do that. Most of them, well, these two don't have mending. This trident, I managed to get somehow. I need to put some enchants on that yet. And just kind of doing some... I need to repair it. You know, get some really good enchants on it. Would be pretty ideal. Might have to take a look at the villager trading hall to see if there's any trident traders, like trident enchantment traders, librarians. That's what I was trying to go for there. See if there's any librarians that will be willing to trade with me. I don't know, but we will see. All right, last tool, and then we will be getting out of here and heading to Kar-Melethor. And I will say as well, I've been a little bit lazy. Wait, does this not have... Oh, this one doesn't have it. Mending. Do I have mending? Nope, I do not have mending books in here. Okay, never mind. Well, that's fine. I guess. I'll take axe and shovel. Pick this up, and we're gonna get out of here. Roth first being in the chat. What's going on, Roth? Quasar Beam second in the chat. How's it going, everybody? Hope you guys are having a lovely day. We just finished up fixing up all our tools. It was very much needed. Most of our tools were pretty broken. But now we're actually gonna get into the fun of today's stream. So I'll also be 100% honest with you guys. I didn't have a plan for yesterday, which was kind of why I had canceled the stream. Plus, you know, I did stuff on Sunday with recording and editing, so I was kind of... I hit my limit when it comes to, you know, content creation. So I kind of decided to take yesterday off and just relax. Good, how are you? I'm doing well, thank you for asking. I did, like I said, I did get a little bit of editing done, not a ton. I don't want to like overwhelm myself to the point where I get completely burnt out of content creation, because it has happened to me before. Phone, go away. Okay, so first things first we want to do is I totally meant to kind of come up with a stall design for the market, but I did not do that. So what should I do? We need to move Stewie. Stu. Come on, Stewie. I need to move you for the time being because you're kind of in the way. I will say I was really excited for the Happy Gas when they had announced it and, you know, mentioned the capabilities of like being able to build on it and all that kind of stuff. But it's slow and I don't know. I've honestly have some mixed feelings about it. I mean, obviously it's neat to say the least, but for me, the usability of it is kind of interesting. For the rest of the stream, I'm going to comment like today talks in reverse. What? I would prefer that we don't confuse my brain today. It has been a long enough week trying to work with, you know, deciphering code from whatever you guys are trying to tell me. Would be kind of preferred not having to do that. So we need to kind of do a floor, and I meant to do that as well. I realized, you know, there's actually a lot of things I meant to do that I did not before stream. So where's my tools? I would like to get silk touch pickaxe. Thank you. I meant Yoda. Okay then. Yeah, there's a lot that I wanted to do before stream today because I, for whatever reason, really hit like a motivational spark when it comes to, you know, doing things today. So that's what we're kind of doing. So we need to finally come up with a bit of a floor design here. And I'm just going to start in this corner here just to kind of see how it's going to work out. If it's going to work out well, then we can kind of move on with it. If it's not going to, you know, it's not going to, if it looks ugly or anything like that, then we'll probably scrap it and just build the actual market. New shelf Mojang announced. They did announce that. I did see that. It'll be interesting to see how that will work out too. Because if it's just, I think I saw them, they were like able to switch an entire hotbar out. Which, if that's the case, I feel like there could be some complications if you're trying to like pick out specific things, or, you know, they didn't really explain too much. Obviously, it's a new feature that was just announced, so there's probably going to be some fine tuning with it or whatever. But yeah, it's exciting because the capabilities behind it with like designing even better, like the market stalls or something like that. That would be really cool to actually have kind of going into the markets, or even house design, like just simple house designs would be really nice to have too. So I'm going to kind of had an idea in mind for the floor design. Obviously, we have a ton of cobbled deep slate already throughout the walls and other things. So I'm going to try to eliminate having too much of that. We're actually going to throw in a couple different blocks to kind of, you know, break up this basic pattern in the floor here. And I think the way that we're going to do that is kind of similar to what we did on the path over here. You know, we have the regular deep slate, we have deep slate on the side, and then the cobbled deep slate slabs. That's the word. But this time we're actually going to incorporate some smooth basalt as well. Kind of give this main, you know, this is kind of like the main part of the kingdom that people are going to be in. So I think having like a marbly texture would be interesting, pretty cool, instead of giving it this rugged look that you would normally get from being in the mountain. And it kind of gives it almost a royal field. We'll see how it ends up turning out, though. So kind of similar to, like, you know, we have these streaks of deep slate coming through here. We're kind of just kind of streak them along the entire length and see what we could do. Blend the colors, you shall. We will be blending the colors, and we'll be making things look really nice. Hopefully. We'll see if this ends up looking good or not. I'm hoping it does. I think just having the smooth basalt really breaks up the floor texture quite a bit. And even if it's not like a really stand out, if the block doesn't really stand out, I think is perfectly fine. I just need the pattern to be broken up enough. So that's really what we're just trying to do here. We don't need the stone, so we can get rid of that. Alright, so let's take this into free cam here. Obviously, this isn't a much smaller scale, so it might not look super nice at first. I think it's a decent start. I think this is kind of what we're gonna go for. And now that we have had this area pretty much established for a while now, I'm just gonna mine this up because it's really not necessary anymore. Just kind of, I think, expand this out more just to see if we can get a better scale of how it's going to look, because we have this huge area to work with. So I think if we're actually able to, you know, see it on a proper scale, we can determine better if it's going to work out or not. Another job do you have? I mean, I have a main job. I have a main job, that, like a day job. I guess you could kind of consider YouTube my nighttime job, my part-time job. Just because we're still really small. We're tiny. What can I say? We're actually a tiny channel in comparison to everything. But yeah, just getting rid of all this stone. I might end up moving a beacon over here to kind of, you know, make this go by a little bit faster. Because I don't want to be spending too much time just digging out the floor or anything. Because then it just gets really boring, really repetitive. I like to try to avoid that. Ooh. Actually, I just had another idea. What if instead of these straight streaks like we have currently going on, what if we did diagonal? Diagonal might not be a terrible idea, actually. I'm also going to go ahead and sleep. And drink some water. I'm a thirsty boy. I'm going to move over here. Perfect. Yeah, this is taking way longer than I would like. Straight line is better, I think. I think we'll try to do... Like, we'll expand this out just a little bit more. And then do a side-by-side comparison of how the two designs will look. Yeah, I'd rather not spend an hour just doing this. So I'm probably just going to end up grabbing a beacon and throwing it in the corner here. After we determine what kind of floor design we want to go with. I'm gonna, yeah, I should probably pick up the thing there. I am getting a little hungry. Well, let's go ahead and fill this in. How did you get all the deep slate? I mined it up. It is not a fun process to mine up all this deep slate. But it's, you know, for a build that is primarily underground, it's kind of necessary to have the deep slate. Like, or should I say a build that is deep underground. Like this one is supposed to be. You know, like the caverns and stuff that you see off the side here that were primarily blasted out. You know, just skim the bottom and mine up all that deep slate that way. Yeah, the amount of deep slate that I have currently was meant to be used for covering the walls and whatnot with deep slate, because we know deep caverns, you know, we're deep underground. We want to have the deep slate vibe going. So I had mined this all up for that originally, but I haven't really had the time to kind of, you know, just sit down and do that. So we're just going to use it for building the floor of the market. Will we need all 4 shulker boxes? I doubt it. But it is a solid maybe, because it is... Actually, no. Because we have the other blocks that we're incorporating into the build, too. Yeah, we're going to have the other blocks, too. So we're not going to be using up nearly as much of the actual cobbled deep slate. Alright, I need to get rid of this stone. It's taking up my inventory space. Go away. Yeah, deep slate bricks and spruce are a great combination, in my opinion, for building. It's definitely one of my top 3 block combinations to build with. We're more than likely going to end up needing a lot more of the smooth basalt. And smooth basalt is not necessarily an easy block to mine up either, so... I have a basalt generator up in that storage room. That's how I got majority of this basalt. But... yeah, it's gonna take a bit of time for us to gather all that again. If we end up needing it, we'll see. You have tattoos? I do have tattoos. I have a total of 5 currently. I have been kind of wanting to get another one, but I haven't really had, 1, the money, and 2, time to go see my cousin who does all my tattoos for me. Well, I should say cousins, because my one cousin owns the tattoo shop, and his brother works for him. So those are the only 2 I could ever trust to have tattoos done. I couldn't go to like a random shop somewhere and have a stranger tattoo me. Oh God, Marina's here. Hi Marina, how you doing? What am I doing? I'm working on a floor design for our market area in our kingdom here. I don't know if it's going to end up looking good or not, but we're giving it a try anyways. That's cool. Frick, yeah, it is. It should at least be really cool. We'll see. If I'm able to actually pull off the floor design that I'm currently have going in my head, then it should be really cool. Yeah, there is a very solid chance I'm going to end up needing to spend some time gathering some smooth basalt. I know it can generate in the nether. And some of this has come from geodes as well. Yeah, we're already out of, what was it, 3 or 4 stacks? And I only got this much left. Yikes. Alright. Smooth, or regular deep slate time. Will it look good? Will it look ugly as fuck? Probably. Oh crap, wrong blocks. One thing to kind of keep in mind too is that we are going to have, you know, market stalls and everything kind of spread throughout the area. So it's not necessarily, well, it's not, what am I trying to say? The floor is going to be kind of covered up, so it's not going to be like a main focal point of this area, but it's still going to be something that people might notice too. Is that like, oh yeah, this floor, it's got a really cool design to it. You know. Alright, I think we'll be able to get a better idea of how it's going to look in the daytime. So let's go ahead and sleep really quick. Alright, free cam time. How does that look? Because we mostly should focus on this streak right here. And honestly, I think we can make this work. I think we can make this work. Having the blend of cobble deep slate, regular deep slate, and the streaks of basalt give it a really nice. Let's even look at it from this perspective here too, because you know when you're coming down from up here, this is what you're going to primarily be seeing. So you know, walking down and then the streaks of, yeah, you know what? I think this is what we're going to roll with. Oops. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to throw the basalt in here. Go away, spam callers. What shaders are you using? I'm using the complimentary Unbounded shaders. It's very great. Also, I guess I was kind of working on a statue design for channel members. So that's one of the things I kind of did work on yesterday, was starting to hollow out this area here, because this is where the Hall of Legends, you know, everybody that supports the channel and by becoming a member, they will get enshrined with their own statue. And this is kind of what it looks like. I'm not gonna lie, I thought incorporating some diorite and calcite for a beard would look nice, but it gives it a very gnomish look, and I don't like that. So we might end up sticking with deep slate for that. Don't have... Oh, wait. Here's some more stuff that I actually need. Yeah, I need that stuff. But yeah, each channel member is going to get their own statue. It's still a work in progress, obviously, but that's kind of like the first concept art. Obviously, just want to preface too, you are not required by any means to get a channel membership or anything like that. But, you know, if you enjoy watching this and you want to support me further than just subscribing, consider becoming a channel member. Alright, I'm grabbing another beacon. The back area over here is done, so I don't need this beacon down here. Well, okay, maybe it's not done. I definitely thought this was done, but it's not. Alright, shoot. This beacon. We'll take this beacon over here. I'm considering buying a channel membership. Like I said, not required, but if you feel like supporting me, absolutely, go for it. So we're going to dig up this beacon here, and then we're going to go ahead and dig out the floor and do the thing. I am also considering I want a statue. Well, if you want a statue, $2.99 a month. I think it's $2.99 a month. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forget what my cheapest membership is. I think it's $2.99 a month. $2.99 US, I should say. I should probably specify that for anybody that might not be in the US. $2.99 USD. Alright, make sure we grab up all of the blocks, but we should know how much. It's 64 and 36 to make sure we get all the blocks. There we go. There's one. Alright, and since we've already pretty much got this floor designed here, well, we should probably finish it. You're from Africa? Oh, that's actually really interesting. What part of Africa, if you don't mind me asking? Because I would completely understand being sad. North Africa. Okay. That's pretty cool. Algeria, to be specific. Oh. You're probably the first person I've ever chatted with, or even met for that matter, that is from Africa. That is really neat. What time is it for you then? Because, like, I'm pretty familiar with, like, UK time zone. That's, like, they're about 5-ish hours ahead of us. So it's, like, 11:43 p.m. in the UK. Algeria. My geography is letting me down. Alright. Let's get rid of that. 12 at night? Wow. Okay, yeah, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're roughly about 6-ish hours ahead of me. Time zone wise. We should have diamonds sitting over here. Or... yeah, we'll just use a diamond. Because we can, we're bougie like that. I know the future. Am I going to win the lottery tomorrow? Am I going to win the lottery and retire? Because that would be great. Yes, 2 million, bet. Imagine if I go and buy a lottery ticket tomorrow and I win $2 million. I think I might actually shit my pants. Like, that's a valid reason to shit your pants, right? I would say so. Would everybody else agree? Cobblestone sword to break them stone. This is true. That is in fact the truth. Those are you're spitting straight facts, bud. But we don't have nearly as much cobblestone throughout this area than stone. So it doesn't even matter. The haste still helps regardless. If I win the lottery, I'd shit, burp, and fart at the same time. You know, there's a special word for that. Don't exactly remember the name of it, but there's a special word for that. Because shart is shit and fart. I'm trying to think of what the other term is. Because I'm not kidding you, there is a term for that. But I'm 100% blanking on it right now. Alright, we can just get rid of this stone. We don't need this stone. We already have hundreds and thousands more stone. Which actually I want to check this really quick. Over 700,000 stone we have mined. And we have picked up 453,000 of it. That's a lot. There's a creeper hiding over here. I'll take the gunpowder. Yes, please search it up, because now I'm curious of what the term is. Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if I need to check the statistics again. Times mined times used. For diamond pickaxes, we have used diamond pickaxes 803,000 times. With netherite, we're at almost like 1,000,000 blocks. For that. That's absolutely wild. You know, my buddy Taylor better come back at some point soon, because he's just gonna have his... To get down to his little hidey hole that he has in here, it's down through here, and it's about to be covered up. Will I feel bad? A little bit. But we have stuff. We're trying to get stuff done. Trying to make some real progress. So building this market here will probably honestly take up multiple streams. I'm thinking bare minimum 3. It could even take up to 5, depending how in depth and how detailed we want to go with building this. Sadly, I didn't find. Did you Urban Dictionary it? Because that's where you need to look. Urban Dictionary, that shit. You know what? I'm going to do it really quick. Urban Dictionary term for shitting, farting, and there isn't a term for it? That's crazy. I definitely thought there was a term for that. Wow. Okay then. Well. Alrighty then. I for sure thought there was a term. But maybe the schizophrenia, not schizophrenia, what's it called? The early onset Alzheimer's. Yeah, I think that might be kicking in. Dementia, even dementia could also be a factor into that. The heck? Y'all saw that, right? That was like a near miss. That was so close to hitting me in the face. I John Wicked that. That was a nice dodge by me. Good job, me. Ooh, actually, I just thought of one thing too. If we were to like once we establish where the stalls are going to be and everything, maybe even throwing in some whatchamacallits, polished deep slate to like kind of give a worn tone texture, like people have really walked on the smooth basalt. I don't know why words are so hard to think of right now. What about you make that thing that makes no mobs spawn in the world? I have no idea what you could even be referencing with that. No clue at all, if you want me to be completely honest there. Honestly, I'll probably... Smart thing to do would just be to fill this in. Because any good builder knows if you're going to be placing down a layer of blocks, it's always good to have an extra layer underneath it. Especially for like dirt or whatever, so that you're not, you know, losing blocks falling through the floor or anything like that. So we should probably do that. So the one time I probably shouldn't throw the stone off the edge would be for something like what we're doing now. Wish I had thought about this earlier. Oops. I like building redstone stuff. Last thing I made is a car. That's pretty cool, actually. I'm not a huge redstone person. Trying to make sense of it is like me trying to learn calculus. It's not fun. I think the most impressive redstone thing that I have built by myself gosh, what was the most impressive redstone thing that I've built? I think technically I used a door design, like a piston door that was designed by Mumbo, I think it was, for like a 3x3 piston door, but I attached a skulk sensor so that the only way that you could open it up was by activating it with a ram horn, like the goat horns. Yeah, that's probably the most impressive thing that I did, redstone wise. Granted, yes, I used somebody else's design for the door. But nonetheless, I think doing something like that is pretty cool. That's impressive. I mean, I like to think it is impressive, but you know, maybe I'm just kind of downplaying it in my head a bit. My internet is bad. I gotta leave. Sorry. Don't feel bad, Quasar. Thank you for stopping in and chat with me, even if it was just for a little bit. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and we will see you when we see you again. All right, next batch to be filled in here. Just gonna fill that in. Get rid of this too. We know the bounds of the market. Now we don't need any of this diorite. Eat. Nom 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 nom. I know we're placing a lot of deep slate down just to have to mine it back up, but I think if we just trust the process, we'll get it figured out. We're gonna put this stone back. And I think for the time being, we're just gonna throw this tuff into here just to give myself a little more inventory space. Because inventory space matters, especially for big builds. This might not necessarily be a big build, but it's still a big project that we are working on. And now that we've also got this figured out, we can throw the stuff down over here. All right, tools are in there. Okay, we need to grab up. I'm just gonna grab all of it. Oh, gosh. Gotta stay hydrated, everybody. Okay. All right. Now that that is done, how much more do we have? Still have a decent amount. Definitely not enough though to fill up the rest of the market area. So what I'm thinking we'll do is we might just do one side today, and then off camera I'll finish up the wall. Or not the wall, the floor. And go from there. Just because I don't want to waste too much time. I want to kind of get a game plan going. I want to make sure that, you know, we know what we're going to be doing going forward. That's what I was trying to think of saying. Okay, cool. I will say one thing that is nice about using the side texture of the deep slate is that, yes, it blends in, but there's enough of a texture difference to where we know that it's a different block. Alright, so that section is done. Let's move on to the next. So it's like every few blocks, we kind of want to make it look as natural as possible, but give ourselves enough space for each vein of smooth basalt to kind of blend in naturally with the deep slate and everything. Just kind of make it flow well. Okay, I don't want it to be... want to make sure that we're picking up all the deep slate as well. So it would be a shame to have any of it go to waste. Okay. We could probably fit another row. How much of this? Ooh, gosh, I really don't have that much more smooth basalt. Alright, I'm going to spend a little bit of time at the basalt generator here. It's not very efficient either, so I will need to work on that a bit. You know, loss of blocks and everything is kind of bad, obviously. Actually, hold on a second. Is there any regular basalt that we didn't smelt up already? I don't know. I'll have to also double check the front storage too, because we do have a little storage area up. Why was that not covered up? Nor that. What the heck? Yeah, let's check up front here really quick and see what's going on. Well, this basalt was made for the trees, so I don't want to use that. Would it even be easier to potentially just go to the Nether and mine some up? That might not be a terrible idea. Yeah, I think we'll do that. How's everybody doing? You guys still hanging in there, having a good time? Yeah, I'm just gonna mine up some more basalt. What I should have done is, instead of expanding out to the left or the right hand side of the kingdom, I should have just kept going forward. That way we would still have some space to, you know, build everything outwards. That doesn't make sense. We would have had a whole half to build with, instead of trying to work with the entire thing. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't even make sense either. It's kind of rambling. I'm back and my internet is good. Welcome back, Quasar. Alright, well, apparently my cat got outside. I'm just gonna have to pay attention to when it starts getting dark. When is sunset supposed to be? So I'm not gonna lie, she needs to get outside more. She's a fatty. So she needs to get out and do some exercise. So around 8:30, I'll have to do a BRB and go check on her, because there have been coyotes apparently around my house, so I'll need to make sure that she's in before it gets really dark. I swear I thought I just saw her run right by my window. This cat is a nutcase, I'm telling y'all. These days in Algeria are hot. It gets to 116 degrees Fahrenheit in peak of day. Holy crap, that's crazy. I mean, I think the hottest where I live, it's been at peak of day was like 90 or 91. Now, don't get me wrong. As somebody who loves the heat, I think 110 plus is just, you're asking to just get cooked. Alright, so we have quite a bit of basalt now. Let's head back in and just start getting it smelted up. But we'll go to sleep first. Oh, my shoulder just popped. Oh, oh, that did not feel good. Oh, oh, that did not feel good at all. I just wanted to stretch, and instead I hurt myself. God damn it. Okay. I'm fine. Everybody's fine. Everything's fine. Guys. Oh, I did start smelting some up. Good job. Me in the past. Nope, that's deep slate. I need basalt. Now the $1,000,000 question is, how much of this did I prepare? A good bit. That's basalt. Yes. Bros, you shut your mouth right now. I am in my prime. Okay? You know, things just pop and dislocate. Stuff, okay? It happens. It's natural. Right. I saw my cousin after not seeing him for a while earlier this month. And he walks up to me and says, "What's good, Unc?" And I like just stared at him like, "You did not just call me that to my face." I was ready to choke slam this kid. Like, how dare you? I am not that old. I might joke about it because, you know, my body pops, snaps. It sounds like Rice Krispies treats. Snap, crackle, and pop. That does not make me a freaking unk. Alright, I'm thinking we might do a little bit of a smooth basalt border here. You know, nothing major, but like just enough that's like, yeah, there was some basalt here that was part of the earth and now it's been mined up, kind of thing. How'd you think of the name Z-Man? Well, my real name is Zach, so it just kind of made sense for Zach to be called Z-Man. No special meaning behind it or anything. Alright, I think that's good. Technically, there really isn't a well, this is the middle here. I'm actually really close to standing on the middle. Okay, I didn't even realize that. Let's just... dig this out. And we're actually about to lose our haste. Gosh darn it. That also just kind of goes to show like how massive this area is. Because, you know, we lose our haste effect from the beacon. I might even... Well, we picked it up like right here. Let's go out another 3 blocks. So this line right here is where we start to lose our haste effect. Okay. Well, good to know. I guess since we're working on this side, should just mark it. Minecraft has some geologically accurate stuff like deep slate, and when I see these stuff in real life, I think, why is the real life stealing from Minecraft? Yeah, because that's definitely how that works. How dare real life interfere with Minecraft? Or how dare it steal from Minecraft? Definitely not like the opposite of that or anything. Probably gonna start running back and forth to get the haste effect to mine the stone up, unless we can get it, most of it in this run, which I think we can. Yeah, we'll just bear with no haste for this section here. Actually, you know what? We'll do that. Might even be easier to just do the streaks of blocks first, like what we're doing here. Might be easier to do this and then kind of go back through in the open spaces and place the deep slate and everything. I don't know. To me, it just makes sense in my head to do it like this. Why are we getting stuttering? Hello? Minecraft? We should be fine internet-wise. See, I've had this issue before. I think I might just need to restart my game. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to head to the just chatting screen while I restart my game. Yeah, okay. Minecraft. There we go. Excuse me. Alright, Minecraft. Let's not fall apart on me, please. Did you ever play Vault Hunters? I did not also. Why is... That chat is tiny. How the heck is anybody supposed to read that? Trying to see what it looks like now. Hopefully that looks better once it shows up. Granted, this window's slightly smaller, so it might look a bit bigger for you guys. For me, it just looks smaller. So, all right, we're good. All right, let's see if that fixed our stuttering issues. No stuttering. All right, back to the game. Excellent. Skeleton! Leave me alone. Gave me quite a few things here, actually. Just gonna let this stuff despawn. Gosh darn it, creepers. I'm vibing with the music. I'd love to hear that. I like playing like some fantasy themed music in the background whenever I'm working on this world. Kind of just helps me set the mood and the mindset of like what I'm building, what I'm working on type thing. Do need to eat though. And of course, but of course we're going to get these mobs spawning. Oh, I dropped Tat. Alright, so I'm thinking we're just gonna finish off this side that we started filling in, and then we'll start doing some actual building. Yeah, sounds like a solid plan to me. Okay, yeah, we'll just work with that. Is Geometry Dash still relevant? Like, honest to God, I remember playing it on my iPad like years ago in school. Because, you know, I was such a great student back in those days. I remember playing it for a little while. Uh-oh. Hopefully this stuff is done smelting. Beautiful. Awesome. It got more popular with the new 2.2 update. Game's still being updated? Wow. The reason why I'm impressed is because Geometry Dash, what, came out in like 2015, 2016, maybe? Because I remember a lot of kids in high school were playing it. God, I feel so old now. We actually didn't even need that much. Smooth basalt. Okay, well. This works. Sure. It was in 2013? No way. Game is 12 years old. Oh, excuse me. 2013, that's wild. And it's still popular? I think that's gotta be the most impressive thing. Like, how is a game like that still popular to this day? I mean, like I said, I've played it. Not a ton. Maybe it's just one of those games that I couldn't really get into. That for some people it might be addicting. Which, I mean, to each their own. Everybody has their own games that they enjoy playing. Fun fact, my parents married in, just a year after, you know. that must have been a heck of a time to get married. I mean, yeah, it's a year later, but still. What a heck of a time. All right. You know what? I'm just going to do a BRB now. Make sure my cat is still at least alive. I also need to use the restroom. So, let's go ahead and do a quick BRB. Go ahead, grab some snacks, stretch, grab a drink, do whatever you need to do. We'll be back in just a few. All right, everybody, I have returned. Let's hop back into the game. Coolio. All right, so we still have a little bit of detailing to do yet. We need deep slate, deep slate, deep slate. Not cobble deep slate, regular deep slate. Which, speaking of that, let's go throw that into the shulkers. Need to find, should be done with the basalt for now too, so let's put that away. We're gonna finish detailing this section here. Also, kind of in the realm of music now, I did see that Ozzy Osbourne passed away today. And I know there's probably a ton of fans out there that are absolutely heartbroken and everything, because Ozzy was an amazing musician, don't get me wrong. I just was not the biggest fan of Black Sabbath, but a lot of Ozzy's like stuff when he wasn't with Black Sabbath was really solid too. But yes, today we lost a legend. R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness. In case nobody heard today. It's also dark, but I can wait to go to sleep till after we fill this in. It's only a few blocks to do anyways. Go to sleep. Really need to start lighting this up here pretty soon. We're gonna get tons of mobs spawning in here if we don't handle that. Get rid of all that. Throw the gunpowder in with our rockets. Give me all that deep slate back. Thank you very much. All right. So far, so good. Don't hate this by any means. definitely not hating this. I think that the new drop system in Mojang is better because in one version we get a lot of new content and more frequently. I understand why people like it. You know, obviously more features more frequently is always great from a game. But as somebody who runs this server, to be specific, the fact that I'm now going to have to keep up with making sure the server is up to date basically every quarter of the year is kind of frustrating, especially with having, you know, mods that I have in the game, you know, like the world map, the mini map, and other various things. It more so kind of benefits the people that don't necessarily use mods frequently, if at all. Which, I mean, is fair, because you don't really have to worry about, oh yeah, well, this update breaks this mod, or this update makes this mod not even usable anymore, kind of thing. So, at least for me, it's kind of annoying, because we're still playing on 1.26, and the most recent version is 1.21.8. So it's like, literally just a week after I got the server updated to 1.21.6, 1.21.7 dropped, and I was just kind of like, really? I just updated. Why do I need to update again? I think there was like, unless it's like a critical hotfix or something, I'm probably not going to update the server until the next major feature drop. And even then, I'm still gonna have to wait a little bit to do that, because, you know, the mods that I use, they're not going to be active right away. And you might say, like, well, is it really necessary that you need to play with mods? It makes my gameplay experience so much better. Like, playing without, like, shaders, the world just feels yucky. Like, I'm a very visual person when it comes to games. Like, if the graphics are amazing in a game or something like that, I'm definitely going to prefer that over, you know, something that, you know, if we were to disable the shaders really quick. This just doesn't give the same effect as if we were, you know, playing with shaders. With the shaders, there's a lot more shadows, and to me, it makes the game look better. Which, I mean, to be fair, Vibrant Visuals will be coming out here very shortly, I think. Within the next 3 months, I think, is when Vibrant Visuals will be coming to Java. But even then, like, do I really need Vibrant Visuals because I already use like shader packs and stuff like that? Now, for somebody who doesn't use shaders very frequently, like my buddy Rothrunder, you know, he might prefer to have Vibrant Visuals like as soon as possible. I don't know. We'll see. I had a server, and because of that problem, I had to switch between Forge and... I didn't even finish reading the message. Fabric. Oh, yeah, to keep switching between Forge and Fabric. I mean, fair. I definitely prefer Fabric over Forge. Any day. I mean, there's not really that much different between the two. Sorry, I have an itch on my leg. But it just... I don't know. To me, I just prefer Fabric because it's a lot easier to kind of utilize in a way. I feel like Forge and Fabric are like the dark side and the light side. Forge is light for me. See, I much prefer Fabric, so it's kind of like a pick your own poison type thing. Also, am I out of... Oh, no. We do have a little bit more deep slate. Cool. I was starting to get a little concerned there. Alright, so we filled this side in. And this one. We still have to do this side. I was like, wait a minute. Did I already do it all? No. As a matter of fact, I did not. Forge has way more popular mods. I mean, yes. Forge has some more of the popular mods. But I would say Fabric is quickly picking up the pace in regards to getting those mods a little bit easier. Because obviously Forge kind of has the same similar feature of like, yeah, you can create your own instances and everything like that. But I also don't trust CurseForge at all. Despite, you know, me having an account and all still. After their whole incident. What was it, last year? 2 years ago now? Where they had that huge data breach. Where they were hacked. One of the two. So, like, that's where I mostly had played, like, the Forge mods and everything. So, like, after that, I just kind of was like, I'm just going to find something else to play on. And that was, like, when Fabric was still kind of up and coming, I would say. So, it wasn't really nearly as popular as it is now when it comes to mod creation or anything. I really have to kind of do the research on the differences between Forge and Fabric. I am not well versed on that at all. I just know that out of personal experience, I just prefer using Modrinth than Fabric. And NeoForge is getting way more popular. See, I haven't really looked into NeoForge. Just kind of, you know, as I said, I found what I like to use. That's Fabric. And I'm not saying that nobody can't, you know, oh, you use Forge? No, that's dumb. No, that's not how I feel about it. It's just like, okay, cool for you. I just prefer to use Fabric. It was a team in Forge and they separated. Oh, okay. At the end of the day, like Curse Forge, Neo Forge, Fabric, they're all just places for people to post their mods. And everybody has their own preferences on where they want to download their mods from and everything, and that's perfectly fine. I will certainly not hate on anybody for choosing something different from me, because that's dumb and a waste of energy. Oh, you use Forge? Yeah, you're stupid. Modern is so much better. No. Play Minecraft and download your mods however you choose to. Alright. Floor is finally done. So we can finally get to some building now. Well, mostly done. We still have this small section to do, but I'm not even going to worry about that. So let's do that. A boom. I'm going to try to condense some of the stuff to free up a shulker for my tough stuff, my tough blocks. Okay, so we need pretty much all this tough here. Did you have a point in the project where you think, why am I even doing this? Yeah, a couple times, I will be honest. There have been moments. Especially when I was digging out the cavern. The very first one. Where the fuck did I put my... Ah, it's all in here. I pretty much 85 to 90% of this cavern hole here was dug out by hand. And I was relatively close to the bottom of like the cavern opening here. And I thought to myself, why the hell am I even doing this project? This is going to take me so freaking long. And by that point, I had finally looked up a tutorial on like tunnel boring and getting, you know, the TNT duper machines and all that kind of stuff, you know, going. Once I had gotten that down, getting, well, I'm going to get out from under the cave here so you can actually see. Getting everything at least blasted out was so much more easier than digging out by hand. And, I mean, even still, there are some parts where it's like, why the hell am I even doing this project? But I keep doing it because I have to keep in mind, this is a forever hold. If we feel like we really need to take a break from this, we can always go off and do something else. It doesn't have to be this all the time. But because this is my very first solo project in this world, I would like to try to get it done within a reasonable amount of time. Also, welcome back, Marina. Because we're going into... August will be month 11. I didn't even bring the shulker with me. I'm dumb. Going into August will be month 11. And then in September, it will be 1 year officially that this world has been going on. And ideally, what I would like to have happen by the end of the year is, or by year one, I should say. Sorry. By year one, I want to have this all, you know, looking like all replaced with deep slate, have the cavern all built. Maybe, just maybe, we could even try to get the mountain done too. But doing it at a pace where I'm not overworking myself on this either. Because I will say the last 3 to 4 months, I was going hard on this project. And I wasn't really leaving enough time for other games or anything like that. So it was kind of hard for me to... I mean, granted, don't get me wrong, I was still having a lot of fun doing all this. But the work that goes into building a huge mountain range like this and building a Dwarven kingdom as big as we're building this, it takes a lot of time. And it very well might not even officially be done until a year and a half from now. But I'm also in the mindset of the projects will never be done because the game updates so frequently that we can essentially, you know, just continue to work on things. So it's not like once we're done with the section of, once we're done building them out and throwing in all the features we want in the kingdom, then it's done. Like, that's not how a forever world works. You're doing this forever until you decide to never play again or something like that. Which I hope never happens, but you know, things can happen. Alright, so, building. Do streams add to watch time hours? I'm trying to create content. Streams do, in fact, count towards watch time hours. They do indeed. So. Excuse me. I'm going to get a couple stacks of calcite. I'm finally thinking of a way to actually utilize the calcite for something. I will need to grab some spruce. Don't look at this. This is for the next Solus video that'll be coming out. I actually am taking down that house because I think it looks ugly. Spruce wood. I'm gonna take some of that. I will definitely need to spend some time gathering up some more supplies, but it's just something we'll have to do in time. So, kind of the idea that I had, specifically what I was trying to do was, so I wanted to do some tough walls like this. We can even have blocks behind here too. And then here we can boom. It's not going to be perfectly replicated to how I want it to look. Where's the tough stuff's literally right here. But it'll at least be close enough. So like something like that for like the windows potentially of shops and all that kind of stuff would be cool. I just also am thinking, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. I'm gonna sleep really quick. Did you ever play any Cataclysm mod pack? I have not. What's that? Right. No. It's close. Heck, I even like that a bit more. I actually really like that. Oh, crap. No, wrong blocks. Ah. Oh, even if we were to do... Hold on a second. We stack of blocks. Turn that into polished tuff. I actually really like that. Let's see if we could even potentially replicate this on the other side too. How that looks. Because we're still going to need windows. And I'm not completely sold. What if... With 3 wide... I feel like we should probably use this design for something else. Yeah, I think we're going to end up using that design for something else. Crap. All right, save as... Because I feel like that's a little too much of... It's too much design for a shop. Like for a shop stall. So even if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, boom. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, boom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, boom. Andesite and oak. It's a design that I really like, and we certainly can use it for with different blocks and different designs and all that kind of stuff. But I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that too tall? I don't even know if that's too tall or not. So there's actually, hold on a second. It might blend in too much. Well, actually what we wanted to do is strip these logs. These logs are naked now. Probably already have a crafting table somewhere. It's 1:30, so I need... Yeah, go to sleep. Man, you're crazy. Thank you for stopping in, though, Quasar Beam. Greatly appreciate to have you here in the chat. Hope you have a good night's sleep tonight. We'll see you in the next one. So if we were to do something like... It does definitely give off that tent vibe, which is what I'm trying to go for. What I want to do also is incorporate other blocks. So just kind of giving you guys an idea of how I want this to look. It might not end up working out as well since this is kind of on a corner. But we'll see. So 2. One, 2, build up. I might have something that could go good with this. Hold on. Couldn't even do a regular stone. What if we were to try to do netherrack? Mud, Soul soil. Pale moss is a possibility too. That's my alarm to go check on my cat. So I will do a quick BRB, everybody. Alright. I apologize that took so freaking long. But she's a very stubborn cat. Okay, so we have a few blocks that I wanted to design with. Also wanted to preface that we weren't going to be going super late tonight. Wanted to at least get some sort of design going tonight. And then kind of hit the ground running with it next time. Because like I said, I still have some editing to do. Crap. Nope, that's not where I wanted those to go. Alright, so we're just going to kind of throw in a few different blocks here. Just see what the potential style could be. I think... No, wait. We also had the soul soil. Almost forgot about that. Okay, let's take a step back and see what color we think would blend well. So one of the things I actually wanted to do too was, nope, can't do deep slate buttons. You also can't do tough either, I don't think. I think we're gonna have to stick with let me just quickly double check that we can't do tough. Yeah, no. Okay. So what I want to do is get some stone. And one of the things I also wanted to do was on the corners here, utilize the tough blocks or the tough walls. Yeah, I wanted to use the tough walls somehow, some way. Trying to think. I would also kind of need it to be daytime so I can actually see what the heck I'm doing. So maybe instead of on the outside, we use it on the inside. Then on the outsides, we use the studs like that. Which, I mean, if we were to do that, then we could even do... Squid? Is that a squid? What do we want to do? It feels like it's too much for a market stall. Like, I'm coming up with these great ideas for designs and utilization of these blocks and all, but I feel like they would be more suited in like a castle build or something different in the kingdom. It's kind of frustrating. Because even if we were to like just do the slabs how we have been using them as of late, which should probably just do that really quick. Yes. Okay. Use that design for some sort of entryway to the market, like if you're going to have roads leading in. Well, the market in itself doesn't necessarily have any roads. We just have this area. It's like, it's not really like a passageway or anything, but I'm kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I might need to use... So we obviously won't see it from the outside except for like right here. But it's a support beam. Like, I use this design so much, but like, I think it works. I think it's good enough that it'll work. Just not in here. Man. I feel like that looks pretty alright. Just kind of following that. Don't necessarily want to overdo it, but at the same time, it kind of feels like it fits. Doing something like that. I'm also still unsure of one more idea. Gonna go put these other blocks back first. So my inventory is full of garbage. I really should be utilizing the other storage room, but I can't be bothered right now. It's further away. Plus, you know, I still have to move all that stuff out. So, one more block I want to try to use. Wherever it may be. So, aha! The polished deep slate. Alright, polished deep slate. I don't know, it kind of feels lazy doing that. I think about out of anything that I've used so far, the soul sand is really catching my eye. And I don't have enough of that right now. So, at least I don't think. Can double check. Maybe I have more soul sand laying around. Not a ton. It's not necessarily too hard to get, but I just don't want to go traveling right now. Like I said, I still have some editing to do to finish up tonight. So I mean, to be fair, this is kind of like the initial version 1 style. This doesn't have to be final, but I do think the soul soil, it has that wavy pattern to it that gives it like a fabric texture almost. Actually, no, that has to go there. Welcome back, YouTube. What's going on, Roth? So Roth, you might be able to help me out here. So, I finally decided to find a use for calcite in my builds. And in this market here that I'm building, I wanted to use calcite in another block as like a tent style. And I feel like the combination of calcite and soul soil looks pretty good. I thought maybe the netherrack could look halfway decent, but I'm not liking that. I'm leaning towards either deep slate, the polished deep slate, which is kind of lazy, I think, but adding in the soul soil looks a lot better. It has like that texture, like fabric texture look to it, if that makes sense. Like silk. Yes, that's the word I was going for. I don't know if that's too fancy or I just know I like this more, but having another set of eyes might help with decisions. You think soul soil and netherrack? Ooh. Well, let's go ahead and try it. But of course. I mean, no, I mean, both of those look good with the cows. Oh. Ah, I see. I see what you're saying now. As long as you're pretty much affirming that the soul soil is the way to go, then that's what I'm going to probably use. I just don't have enough soul soil on me right now, and I wasn't planning on going super late tonight because I really needed to finish editing. But yeah, I'm definitely more partial towards the soul soil and calcite. Yeah. Yeah, that looks solid enough to me. I'll finish putting in those blocks in off camera, and then 4. I would recommend not making all the market stalls having the same blocks. Get a few with other blocks for variety. Yeah, I was definitely not just going to stick with soul soil. I wanted to throw in some other blocks as well. I'm just going to have to kind of experiment with that. But I think for now, we're just gonna throw these in. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be using soul soil today. But hey, you never know when you're going to need blocks, am I right? I don't know if I should. Just so I have the corners. Too far down. Like if you did moss blocks, not too vibrant, but adds a little color. That's a good point. See, I even experimented with the pale moss as well. Which, I mean, we could throw in. I just don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Lots of decisions, to say the least. Or if you figure out the kingdom's banner colors, making some of the market stalls use those. Well, like the kingdom's colors are like the gray of the deep slate, gray of the tough, and then orange. Like the resin. Like that's what I was kind of having in mind for the kingdom colors. So that would be for the banner too. All right, I'm gonna need a few more slabs. Blocks of resin or red sand, then maybe? Yeah, like gray with the resin. Could look really cool, actually. You know what? It's not that far in the nether. We're just gonna go grab the rest of the soul sand that we're gonna need. It's only like a stack or two. Not even 2 stacks. I'm just gonna get them. Pale moss plus resin. Ooh, I like that idea. Yeah, not super far at all. I don't know why it was much further off into the nether than I had originally thought. I thought we had dug up exactly a stack of blocks, and I was about to be genuinely impressed with myself. I'm gonna have to reactivate my resin farm. Hey, no, keep your claws out of the chair. You already ruined the other one. Gremlin. What did I just say? It's a cat, I swear. I know for a fact she has food in her food bowl. I thought I definitely underestimated my usage of Whatchamacallit, soul soil. Probably gonna need to get a good bit of that going. Wait a minute. Ah. I was so confused for a second there. Oh, come on. I was like right there. Parkour. Gosh darn it. Parkour. Parkour god. I'm gonna need more calcite. Calcite. 2 stacks will do. But it's also sleepy time. Well, there goes that empty can. Thank God that can was empty. That could have been really bad. Quick. Don't you just hate when you don't grab enough blocks? I hate that. I mean, I guess to be fair, I probably should. Ooh. My calcite. Wee. Ouch. Yeah, this corner is just going to be super weird to work around because I wanted to kind of do something like this. And then the colors probably should have worked from the corner out. I did not plan this far ahead. Well, let's see. As place marker blocks. Yeah, I think I might have to redo this, but we're essentially we have the pattern that we're going for, so that's done. Just have to finish putting in the slabs here. And then off of these, we can hang some lanterns too, I'm thinking. Kind of help light the place up a bit. What do you want to do for those corners? Cat, what do you want? Gosh, that does look ugly, but like I said, just using placeholder for now. I think we're on to something. I might try to do a little bit of experimentation and brainstorming off camera. What the heck? I didn't even notice these guys. I just hear the crossbow charge and then just turn around to a firing squad. What the heck? Bad Omen 5 though, that's not bad. Somebody clip that, please. That was funny. Those guys were not fans, no. They're the Z-Man haters. Definitely haters. But yeah. I think we're off to a good start. I think that's a good spot to leave off for the night. Like I said, I really want to get this video edited and done for you guys to be out on Friday. Early access to members on Thursday. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and... Wrong button. Wrong button. We're going to go ahead and end things off for the night. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thank you to everybody who decided to stop by and chat and say hi. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Check out the links below for all of my social medias. Consider joining my community Discord as well. And if you want to see more Soulless World content just like this, consider subscribing as well. And I also want to say a huge shout out and thank you to all my channel members as well. You guys are absolutely amazing. And yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.